All right. We're up to basement tapes number 146. I just had some juice, so I was checking my tongue on camera to make sure I wasn't all pink tongued and all that stuff. 146, we say. We're in 1965. And 1965 is one of those sets of baseball cards that is just stunning, if you ask me. It's the 1965 Topps baseball cards. Says I have 605 of them. I question the accuracy of that. And it also says I have 600 of them. So there's a possibility in here that I put two into a column I was not supposed to have put two into. But maybe there's some variations. Nope, I see card number 85, Willie Smith. It clearly says there's two of them. So let's call it 600, and let's head over to the Beckett OPG to see what they have to say. 599 cards, $19.72 per, $11,813 total. A set of these between $3,000 and $8,000, condition dependent. So that means I have them all, folks. This is a set that I was about 2/3 of the way through, and I just said, screw it. I grabbed them all, except for a few key star cards that I threw back into the common community pool of the collection that I was part of acquiring. But now I have them all. It says here, the cards in this 598 card set measure 2.5 by 3.5. The cards comprising the 1965 top set have team names located within a distinctive pennant design below the picture. The cards have blue borders on the reverse and were issued by series. With the last series, 523 through 598, there are 44 cards that were printed in lesser quantities than the other cards in that series. These shorter printed cards are marked by SP in the checklist below. Featured subsets within this set include League Leaders 1 through 12 and World Series cards 132 through 139. This was the last year Topps issued one card penny packs, folks. Cards were also issued in 5-card nickel packs. The key rookie cards in this set are Steve Carlton, Jim Catfish Hunter, Joe Morgan, Mansuri Murakami, and Tony Perez. 79 rookie cards, according to Beckett OPG. You can guess that Mickey Mantle is probably the number one card in this set. Let's wait for the data to come in from the home office in Texas and or Bangalore, India. It says, wait for it, folks. Please wait for it. Here it comes. I promise. Mickey Mantle, followed by the Fritz Ackley / Steve Carlton card, followed by the Willie Mays card. Again, I have all these, and I will tell you that the Steve Carlton card is special, given to me by my friend TJ, autographed. It is prominently displayed on my display case up there behind me. Truly a treasure of my collection. So thanks, TJ, for that. I think these cards are gorgeous. So let's get the TCDB. 598 cards distributed in 7 series, 1 through 88, 89 through 176, 177 through 264, 265 through 352, 353 through 429, 430 through 506, and 507 through 598. Teams depicted here, folks, are the Orioles, Red Sox, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, the Houston Astros, and the Houston Colt 45s, Athletics, Angels, Dodgers, Braves, Twins, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, Pirates, Giants, Cardinals, and Senators. Things were happening in the 60s in baseball, relocations, expansionism, all that stuff. So there will be a lot of flux in the card market in that decade, and essentially moving forward for another 10 years or so, I would think. So errors and variations. The checklist, this is where I make up, and I have 600 cards as opposed to 598. There is a variation card 79 A and B, and that has to do with Chris Canazero. His name is misspelled, or I should say his first initial is added into 79B, the second card. 508A checklist says large print on front, whereas 508B says small print on front. Hall of Famers abound, 56 of them. Of course, the leader cards are just absolutely epic. Again, yeah, there's just lots of brilliant leader cards in here. Everybody was at their peak, it seemed, at one time. Mays, Koufax, Drysdale, Aaron, Clemente, Billy Williams, Killebrew. Mantle was kind of getting there, or still kind of producing, obviously, if he's showing up on the leader card. So Lots of beautiful Hall of Famers in there. Let's not forget Ernie Banks, who doesn't make any of these leader cards, I don't think, but sure is having an epic career. Rookie cards, we talked about Morgan. We talked about Fritz Ackley. There's 79 records of rookie cards on here. Single rookies and two-player rookie cards. Denny McClain, for example, is a single-player rookie card. The big ones, though, share some space and share some real estate with some bridesmaids. Inserts and related sets. There are transfers and there are embossed. We'll talk about those in the coming episodes. Topps throwing in a lot of stuff for us. Collectors back then. Comments here. Oh boy, this ought to be fun. There are lots of them. And 2014, Lazy Dog says, this is the first pack of cards I ever bought. At the time, I was in Little League. And being a San Francisco Giants fan, I was wanting to find the great Willie Mays or any Giants player for that matter. Just like all of us, the excitement and anticipation of opening your first pack was too much to bear. Still feel almost the same today opening a pack. Back in those days, all packs of trading cards had a big stick of pink bubblegum. After you looked through your cards, you kept your stars for trading and or keeping. Then you took the bench players, commons today, and those went in the spokes of your bike with a clothespin. Don't remember if Willie was in that first pack, but I remember the gum and riding around with the cards in the spokes. So wonderful snapshot back in time by Lazy Dog. NJ Devil says the Houston Colt 45s became the Houston Astros in 1965. On cards numbered 16, 31, 48, 80, and 109, the pennant logo simply states Houston, but the players have hats. But the players' hats have a 45 on them. Houston cards after this have the words Astros on the pennant logos, and the logo on the hats is either blacked out or have a new logo. Most of these latter cards have the players hatless. Reminds me of the 53 Topps with the Milwaukee and Boston Braves right there. Howling Fury tells us one of the most beautiful designs ever, truly pieces of art. I agree 100% Howling Fury. I would put this over the 1960 Topps set as my favorite set of the 60s. It certainly is a beauty and maybe one of the most beautiful designs of all time. P. Howard 13 tells us, I like the 65 set just slightly less than the 64, but these were my 2 years. 1965 was the last year baseball cards were very available in my area, and thus my last year of serious collecting. Of note are the many capless poses, and many of these are with a player shown in a uniform even earlier than their current team or the one just traded from. It appears anyone who changed teams since about June of 64 was shown capless. My theory is that since they were in litigation with the competition at this time, they might have pulled back on travel and photography expenses for the 65 set to have ready cash for potential buyout should they lose the case or to settle. It did not detract at the time, but in subsequent years, I wondered. I disagree with you, P. Howard, no offense, but Topps would buy contracts out of players that Fleer had signed, but I don't think that they were struggling for money back there. Around the Diamond 87, of course, tells us this was the final year of 1 cent packs. Donald Hall tells us the 1965 Topps set, along with the 66 set, are my two favorite Topps sets. These 2 years were the real beginnings of what turned out to be a lifelong hobby. From 62 to 64, I collected the cards, but never completed a set. They went into the proverbial shoebox and stayed there. By 1965, I knew something about baseball. Actually, quite a lot, thanks to a father who loved the game and also happened to be the drinking buddy of several of the Pirates when they were in Fort Myers for spring training. I was one lucky kid meeting men like Maz, Dick Schofield, Vern Law, although he did not drink. I vividly remember the first time I met the great one, Roberto Clemente. He and Matty Lou were coming out of the Arcade Cigar Store in downtown Fort Myers. I kind of stammered my way through an introduction, but Roberto was great. Who would know that the next year I would actually get to play catch with him a couple times? From that point on, Roberto became my hero. He was joined by Willie Stargell the next year as being my favorite Pirates. In fact, all of the Pirates were really nice to all the kids, with the exception of one. I will not name names, but he was the starting shortstop for the Bucks for several seasons. He was just not a likable guy. Back to the cards. We were very lucky in South Florida as we got all the card series, including the dreaded last one. When I first started finding out about the scarcity of the last series cards, it surprised me as I held 6 of the 1966 Gaylord Perry 598 in my hand. Over the years, I have heard the tales of woe and struggle to get these last series cards for many advanced collectors. Lucked out on that. 1965 was the first year I was able to complete a full set of Topps cards, a feat that became an annual ritual that goes on today. So cheers to you, Donald Hall. Avs Bruins 65 says, had the set and near mint condition, and somehow it came up missing during my divorce 10 years ago. Had all my sets and binders stored in boxes. Well, lo and behold, the box containing this set in 73, 74, 75, 76 came up missing. A buddy of mine did some construction work for her, and he saw the box. She told me, I do not have any of your cards. Going to try to complete the 65, 74, 75, 76 again. Ugh, divorce. So sorry for you, buddy. But boy, somebody marrying your ex-wife will certainly come into a fine collection. Mikalo says, why is the World Series card number 134, Mantle's clutch home run, not considered? At least I have never seen it in 55 years. An error card. As one of the tougher and now one of the money cards in that set, I've looked at hundreds of them. Here's the problem, folks. The pitcher, though his name has possibly been whited out, is Cardinals great Bob Gibson. The follow-through is historical in itself. The home run being celebrated on the card is Mickey Mantle's game-winning home run in Game 3. Bob Gibson did not pitch in Game 3, but he did pitch in Game 2. And if you look closer at the photo, the catcher is placing his hand over the ball in his catcher's mitt, indicating a swing and a miss on Mickey's part. I believe this is one of the 2 times Gibson struck out Mickey in Game 2, not the home run, which was thrown by Barney Schultz, obviously not who is in this picture. I believe this to be an error card, never discussed, and not at all the moment in time the card is celebrating. Thoughts, anyone? There's a lot of capitalization. There's a lot of multiple punctuations. There's a lot of periods. There's some misplaced Oxford commas. Parentheses abound. But anyway, this gentleman is on the case, Michaelo. Hopefully his prayers have been answered. C2 Cigar says, one of my favorite card designs. Hipster526 tells us, I bought my first cards in 65, 10 years old, went to the local 5 and dime, and it was the Ron Fairley. Fairley was a key guy for the Dodgers at the time, and I lived in Long Beach, Cal, and he played high school baseball and basketball in Long Beach, so was kind of a local legend. All right, so check this out here. July 1st, 2024, edited at 5:09, July 2nd, 2024. I'm recording this at nearly 9:45 on July 2nd, 24. Your pal, my pal, TJ is online, is throwing comments in there. It says, nice set design that utilizes a pennant for the team name. Typical Hall of Famers can be found in this mid-60s set. Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays are considered the key players in this set, with Steve Carlton, shared with Fritz Ackley, being the main rookie card. The other Hall of Fame rookies found in the set are Joe Morgan, Jim Hunter, Tony Perez, Phil Niekro. Also features Warren Spahn's last Topps card. So, Tony, you beat me by a couple hours. You need to investigate your sleep pattern. If you're editing this stuff at 5:09 a.m., you're almost as bad as me. I was up at 4:45 today with the All Black Yeti, and but I certainly wasn't editing TCDB. So cheers to you, Tony. Packaging, beautiful package. Look at these boxes. Killebrew and Mantle and Koufax on the cover. Baseball player zinging the ball to somebody. I assume it's an outfielder because they are left-handed. Topps Baseball, bubblegum, 1 cent. Again, all the top major league stars, and the 5-cent box as well. This is, again, the last card, the last nickel pack year, or the last penny pack year, I should say. Nice wax box there, 24 boxes, 24 count. Topps Baseball, bubblegum. Again, Killebrew, Koufax, and Mantle smiling in a different sort of floating head shot. There is the nickel packs. There's iron-ons here. There's all sorts of fun stuff. Topps Baseball, 5-cent bubblegum, extra gold, golden embossed all-star card in this pack. So there's our embossed. There's the last penny pack. There's a cello pack with the Giants on the cover, 4th place, National League, and so on. Let's see if we can find some of these sell sheets, which are always interesting. Topps 1965 Baseball is here, now with the extra bonus of an embossed baseball star portrait, free in every 5-cent pack. Topps captures the excitement. Topps captures the excitement. You capture the sales. Order now. And let's go to trivia associated with this set. Last set to include Milwaukee Braves cards. Last set to have 1-cent packs containing 1 card were made available. Features the rookie card for the first Japanese MLB player, Masanori Murakami. Features the rookie cards of Hall of Famers Joe Morgan, Steve Carlton, Jim Catfish Hunter, and Tony Perez. Houston Astro cards in the first series read Houston on the pennant on front as they changed their names in December 1964. Mike Brumley was named to the 1964 Topps All-Star Rookie Team, but his card number 523 is missing the trophy designation. Card number 462 shows Pete Lovrich and not Lou Krause. Or Krause, two S's and an E there. A strip of 3 Topps transfers were inserted into each baseball card pack. And then we go to the gallery, and of course, I don't need to explain to people what is happening here. The beautiful photography, beautiful design, both front and back, obverse and reverse, as they say. I just think it's a stunning set. Card number 8 has Koufax and Drysdale as the ERA leaders and nobody else. I guess they didn't want to put Chris Short in there. So anywhere from 2 to 4 leaders on these cards. I, again, am transfixed with the Roberto Clemente pictures on Topps cards, and this set is no exception. In fact, I will tell you that my 2 favorite cards in here are the Roberto Clemente card and the Carl Yastrzemski Look Up in the Sky card as well. Billy Bryan, nice KC Athletics situation there. I'm wondering if that is RFK Stadium in the background in Washington, D.C. Sure, looks like it. But those classic gold uniforms with green sleeves and green hats. So beautiful set. I don't need to, again, explain to you how gorgeous it is. You can go find some. You probably already have some. And I certainly treasure the ones I have in my collection because this was one of those sets from an aesthetic standpoint. I just think that I needed to have in completion. So luckily for me, I am complete here. You are not that you're incomplete, but perhaps you need to get moving on making this a priority in your collection. 1965 Topps Baseball Basement Tapes, episode 146.